Welcome. Today, we are going on a really deep dive together. We're going to go way beyond the surface of a pretty well-known story to uncover one of the most profound secrets hidden in the scriptures, the story of a warrior named Benaiah ben Jehoiada. And look, we're not just telling a story here. We're actually going to decode what the mystics call a spiritual technology, a blueprint for drawing divine power into a fractured world, something that's been hidden in plain sight for thousands of years.
So, you hear this single cryptic verse and you think, what? He went down also and slew a lion in the midst of a pit in time of snow. It sounds like a myth, right? A tall tale about some hero's incredible strength. But the Kabbalists, the ancient mystics, they teach us to see it completely differently. They say this isn't just a story, it's a formula. It's a precise set of instructions for accessing and channeling cosmic energy, especially when the world feels most cut off from its source.
So, to unlock this whole thing, we're going to journey through the 4 levels of mystical understanding, a system called Pardes. It's an acronym that means orchard, and it's our guide. We'll go from the literal story to the hints, to the deeper meaning, and then, finally, to the cosmic secret that's just humming inside these words. We'll explore the man, the history of his soul, the cosmic system he operated in, and finally how you can apply this to your own life. Okay, let's dive in.
All right, first things first, let's meet the man himself. Before we can even begin to understand the secret, we have to know the sage. Who exactly was Benaiah ben Jehoiada on the literal historical level? We're going to start with the Peshat, which is just the simple, plain meaning of the text.
So in the Bible, Benaiah is basically presented as a superhero of his time. I mean, he was an incredibly powerful warrior and a deeply loyal commander right at the heart of King David's court. He's the son of a high priest, and that's a key detail. So he blends this spiritual lineage with amazing martial skill. He commanded the special forces, the elite guard trusted with the king's personal safety. His loyalty was legendary, and he was the one who made sure the kingdom passed smoothly from David to Solomon. In every sense, this guy was a pillar of the kingdom.
And that brings us right back to the mystery, doesn't it? The text lists his other incredible feats, taking down Moab's 2 greatest warriors, defeating an Egyptian giant, and then it gives us this. The details feel so random, almost nonsensical. Why a pit? Why make a point of saying it happened on a snowy day? This right here is our cue. The mystics teach that whenever the text gets strange like this, it's a deliberate signal from the author. It's like a flashing neon sign telling us, hey, look deeper. The literal story, it's just the doorway.
And that deeper layer starts with a core Kabbalistic concept, the journey of the soul through time. The mystics teach that if you really want to understand a person's actions, you have to understand the history of their soul. So now we're moving into the second level of understanding, remez, which means hint or illusion.
You see, the mystics teach that souls are not a one-time event. They're part of a lineage, a Gilgul. A soul can come back, carrying the essence, the strengths, and the unfinished business of its previous lives into a new one. Great souls in particular often have these arcs that span generations, building on previous work to achieve some final purpose, what's called a cosmic rectification, or tikkun.
Now this is where it gets really fascinating. The Zohar and other mystical texts make a direct link. Benaiah is the reincarnation of Caleb from the generation of the Exodus. Remember Caleb? He was one of only 2 spies who came back from Canaan with a report of faith, not fear. And the clue? It's hidden right in Benaiah's name. His name has the letters Ben in it. Well, in the mystical system of gematria, where every Hebrew letter has a number value, Ben adds up to 52. And guess what? The name Caleb, Kalev, also adds up to 52. This is no coincidence. It's a spiritual signature. It's telling us that Benaiah's incredible physical strength is a direct continuation, a physical manifestation of Caleb's legendary spiritual courage.
So to really understand what Benaiah was doing, we have to zoom way out and look at what Kabbalah describes as the cosmic operating system. We're now entering the Sod, the deepest, secret level of meaning, where actions here on Earth are actually reflections of profound spiritual mechanics.
This is a map of the Sephirot, the 10 divine emanations that the infinite light of creation, the Shefa, flows through to get to our world. Think of it like a divine energy grid, or maybe a celestial step-down transformer. It all starts as pure infinite potential up in Keter, the crown. It's unknowable, totally beyond thought. That potential then sparks a single flash of insight, a seed idea, in Chokmah, wisdom. This seed is then developed in Bina, understanding. Kind of like an architect turning a concept into a full blueprint. From there, the energy steps down into the emotional realms, the expansive force of Chesed, loving kindness, balanced by the contracting force of Gevurah, discipline or judgment. And finally, it passes through the lower Sephirot until it fully manifests as our physical world, Malchut, the kingdom. Every single force in the universe has its place on this grid.
And in this system, the Holy Temple in Jerusalem, well, it wasn't just a building. It was the primary conductor. It was the central node on this entire cosmic grid. It was a physical antenna, precisely designed and aligned with its counterpart in the heavens to draw that divine flow, that Shefa, directly and powerfully into our world. It was the one place where the Shekinah, the divine presence, could dwell openly, making the connection between heaven and earth totally seamless and incredibly potent.
Okay, so now we have the map. We understand the cosmic grid and the temple's role in it. Now we can finally decode that verse. It's not a story about a man and an animal. It's a spiritual formula for an individual to draw down divine energy, especially when the main system is, let's say, compromised.
First up, the lion. In Kabbalah, whenever you see a lion, the Ari, your mind should immediately go to Gevurah. This is the sephirah of immense strength, of strict judgment, of boundaries and discipline. It is the raw, untamed, high-voltage energy of the cosmos, the force that gives everything form. It's the fire in the system. It's powerful, it's necessary for creation, but it is also incredibly dangerous if you don't channel it properly. It is awe, fear, and raw power all rolled into one.
And the pit, the boar? Well, that's us. That's our world, the sephirah of Malchut. So why a pit? Because in our physical reality, the divine light is concealed. It's hidden under all these layers of physicality. Kind of like a king walking in disguise among his people to see what they're really like. Benaiah goes down into the pit. That means he's deliberately engaging with the deepest, most concealed parts of reality to do this sacred spiritual work. He doesn't run from the darkness.
The snow. The snow is the absolute key to this whole formula. The mystics explain that snow is actually a code for a very specific state of consciousness. So think about it. Snow is frozen water. The upper waters in Kabbalah represent pure mercy, chesed. The lower waters represent strict judgment, Gevurah. Snow is the perfect unification of these two opposites, the fire of judgment and the water of mercy. It creates this state of cooled, regulated consciousness, a profound clarity that allows for the safe transfer of the lion's immense power. It's literally the spiritual coolant in the cosmic engine.
And check this out, this quote from the book of Job, which is highlighted by the foundational Kabbalistic text, Sefer Nehar Shalom, it illustrates the point perfectly. To the snow, he says, be earth. The word hava means to become, representing pure, unmanifested potential, and eretz is earth, our physical reality. So this verse is a formula. Snow, that state of unified, balanced consciousness, is the very mechanism of manifestation. It's the process that turns spiritual potential into physical reality. So Benaiah isn't just killing a lion, he's using a specific meditative state to safely manifest a raw spiritual power, the lion of Gevurah, into the physical world, the pit of Malchut.
So this is mind-blowing. We have this image of Benaiah as a master Kabbalist, a spiritual engineer using a super precise formula to channel divine energy. But what's the relevance of this today? His story happens when the temple, the main conductor, was standing. So what happens when it's destroyed? What's the point of this formula in a world of spiritual exile?
And that is where Benaiah's secret becomes absolutely crucial for all time. See, exile, or galut, it isn't just about being physically displaced. Kabbalistically, it's defined as a constricted flow. As you can see here, the power grid is still active, but the main conduit is broken. The flow is hidden. That direct connection through prophecy is gone, and has been replaced by an indirect connection through consciousness. The divine presence, the Shekinah, isn't just residing openly anymore. It has to clothe itself in physical reality, in the lives of good people, in acts of kindness, just to stay connected to us.
So here's the bottom line. Benaiah's act is the prototype for how an individual can become a personal temple, a walking conduit. He gives us the blueprint for drawing down divine energy and spiritual nourishment, even when the world is in a state of disconnection. He teaches us how to tap into the power grid when the main power station is offline. His secret is the secret of spiritual survival and even thriving in exile.
This is just an incredible cosmic system. It totally reframes a simple Bible story into a manual for spiritual engineering. But the big question for all of us is, how can we, today, in our own lives, actually apply this ancient wisdom? How do we become a Benaiah? How do we activate this potential that's inside ourselves?
Okay, for a younger generation, or hey, the kid in all of us, let's frame it like a video game, the hero's quest. First, you have to be willing to descend into the pit. That means engaging with the messy, complicated challenges of the real world, not just staying up in some spiritual ivory tower. There, you've got to confront the final boss, the lion. This is your core challenge. It could be your temper, your deepest fear, and overwhelming passion. The rare item you need to win is the snow, that state of calm clarity that unifies your compassionate side and your disciplined side. With that, you get the power up. You slay the lion, which just means mastering that raw energy, not letting it consume you. And the ultimate objective? Restore the kingdom. Bring that harnessed power back to manifest real, tangible good and order in your life and the world around you.
And for the adults, or the engineers among us, we can see it as cosmic engineering. The goal is to become a living transformer. First, you access the high-voltage grid of pure potential, your inner strength, your Gevurah. But you can't just plug in directly, you'd blow a fuse. You have to employ the coolant of spiritual consciousness, the snow, to regulate the flow. Benaiah himself represents the Sephirah of Yesod, the foundation. He's the transformer in the middle, stepping down that immense power to make it usable. The final step is to channel this safe, regulated energy into the material world, into Malchut, powering your life, your family, your community. The whole secret is maintaining this flow, even when the external world feels dark and totally disconnected.
You know, when you boil it all down, the secret of Benaiah ben Yehoiada is that this capacity isn't just for ancient heroes. It's a potential that exists within each and every one of us. We are all conduits, uniquely designed to draw down a specific quality of divine light into this world. The story of Benaiah isn't just about him. It's a challenge. It's a question posed to all of us. What is the lion you are meant to face? What is the unique power you are meant to master and bring into this world to light up the pit?
Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.